Hey guys, it's David here, and welcome to the third day of this series about automation and about technologies. Today, the topic I want to go over is how to set over 100 meetings a month with use of cold email. And I think nowadays in 2024, cold email is one of the, if not the cheapest way how to acquire new meetings and new customers, especially if you're B2B focused. Cold email can also work for B2C, but be more careful. Don't take my lawyer advice, but especially if you're in the European Union or you're in California, there are more strict regulation when it comes to using cold email for B2C. But yeah, let's get into it and I will show you the whole framework how to get 100 meetings booked a month with cold email. Let's get into it. Okay, so cold email is a very wide topic, and if I wanted to, I could do a whole 9, 10, 15-hour course on the topic. But today I would like to go over one specific thing, and that is the expectations. So, what is cold email and what can you expect, what results you can get. And then the first step in setting up your cold email campaigns. That is the technical side, setting up the domains, how to structure the campaign, setting up the email accounts, and really how to get to the point where you can actually start and send out emails at scale. The second most important piece, I would say there are two most important pieces, the technical setup and then the copy and what you actually say to the prospects. And I will not go over that today, I will go over that later, but today I will show you the first part. So obviously for people who don't know, but I think if you're watching this, you already know, cold email is sending emails to potential prospects who don't know about you. So you're outreaching to them, they didn't have any previous initial contact with you. And first thing I would like to go over is Timeframe and what to expect when it comes to Timeframe. And really with cold email, it's something that you can set up pretty quickly. It doesn't need that much of your time setting it up, but then there's 20 days waiting period. So basically, when you get the emails, when you get the new emails, the new domains, you need to warm them up, which is a process of sending and receiving emails, basically creating some activity so all the emails won't land into spam immediately, and that's the warm-up, and it takes at least 20 days. So that's definitely the time you should count with. Now let's talk about size of the campaign and really what your goals are. And as I already mentioned, cold email nowadays is the most effective way how to get B2B leads. And I would like to go over the structure. So to create a successful cold email campaign, you need email accounts to send out the outreach from, right? That makes sense. And you also don't want to ruin the email and domain's reputation. You don't want the emails to go to spam. So you're trying to limit the amount of emails you send per email account and per domain. And so when the email account is warmed up, I already mentioned it in here, you should send at most 30 messages per day per one email account. And per one domain, you should send maximum of per one domain you should have maximum of 3 sending email accounts, meaning approximately 90 messages a day per one domain. So if you calculate it, if you add it up, one domain, 3 email accounts, 90 messages a day, in a month, that's approximately 2,500 emails, somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 emails a month. So if you would count with a 1% conversion rate, which is something I would expect if you're a beginner to cold emails, you should get at least 25 meetings booked a month from the cold emails you sent. Obviously, if you already have some experience with cold email or with copywriting, if you're able to write a good copy that catches the attention of your prospects, then the conversion rate can be even higher, and therefore you can get more meetings. And I think it's very easy math. So if you're aiming for 100 meetings a month, you should have at least 4 or 5 cold email domains. Now, what about the domains, right? So the first rule that's the most important one is never use your main domain for cold email. So you already have maybe your business website, your business email, but you should never use it for cold email, because if you do, it will or it may ruin the email's reputation. And then when you actually text your clients that you already have, the emails will go to spam, which is obviously, I don't need to explain that. That's a huge problem, because it can happen that your clients will send you emails, but you will not see them. And then everyone will just be confused. They will not be satisfied. Your churn will go up, etc. So never use your main domain for sending cold emails. So you will need to buy more domains, right? And depending on how many meetings you want to get, you will buy 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 domains. And you should always use .com extension for best results. .com domains, first of all, they're pretty cheap compared to some other domain types like .ai. And also, from experience, they have the best deliverability. So I would just stick to .com domains. And now you want to kind of create a names for the domain that resonate with your main company name. So let's say my agency name is Leadbind, and now my main domain is leadbind.com. And then for the cold email, I have domains like getleadbind.com, right? Tryleadbind.com, etc. You can come up with different names. You can ask ChatGPT if you don't have a clue, but it should be something that contains or is very similar to the name of your company. Some examples: get, start, discover, learn, try. So that's the domains you want to get. And now I will go more into details about actually, how to set everything up. Also, when it comes to domains, one thing that I would add here, use reputable domain provider. I would use something like Namecheap or GoDaddy. Those would be my two top picks, or also Google Domains if that is option in your country. Because first of all, you know that you will not have a problem with the domains later on, and second of all, you will need to do some setup of the domains, and every provider has the setup a bit different. And for the main ones, GoDaddy, Namecheap, you will be easily able to find guides how to do it online. If you have some very small provider, well, good luck with that. So now, when it comes to setting up the whole system for cold email, there is really 3 most important variables that you should look for. And the first one is choosing your email provider. Now, this is very important because it will also affect your deliverability, which is the most important metric when it comes to cold emails. And this is also probably your biggest ongoing expense when you build out cold email campaigns. Definitely don't go for the cheap or free email providers. Don't go for Zoho, don't go for these kind of emails, because it will ruin your deliverability. And sure, you will, have it for free, or you will save a bit of money, but all your effort will go to waste. What I would say are the 2 best providers for emails that you can use for cold emailing are Microsoft and Google. And, both are very big companies, and usually I would go with Google, with Gmail. It's the easiest. One email account will cost you approximately $7 a month, something like that, depending again on your geographical location. And that's if you buy it through Google. I will show you ways how to get it for a bit cheaper, but I would still expect at least $3-4 a month per email. So again, if you have 5 domains, you have 3 emails per domain, 15 email accounts in total. Expect at least $45-50 a month as your ongoing expense. Now, the second step, or the second variable, is the domain setup. And now, as I mentioned, you will either do it through your domain provider, be it Namecheap, GoDaddy, Google Domains, or you can do it through outside tools. And I will show you how again, but I think that's something that will really save you a lot of time. And the last variable is cold email tool. Again, you need the domain, you need the email addresses, and then you need some tool that will allow you to send the cold emails. Okay, let's get into it. So when it comes to the emails, already told you, use Gmail or Microsoft, and you will have 3 email accounts per domain, and you will, need to name them somehow, right? And this is the naming convention that I would use. That's the easiest. So first email, your first name @domain.com. So let's say it would be david@leadbind.com. Second email address, first name dot first letter of last name @domain.com. david.g@domain.com. And the third email address, david.gulas@leadbind.com. So this, again, very simple. And the last thing that you want to add is picture. So you want to add picture of yourself to every single email address. Obviously, this helps with the response rates because you look like a real person. You don't look just like some spam email. And now, second variable, domain. And this is the part of the setup that will also greatly affect your deliverability. Now, first thing, I will just go kind of over it. What are the main things that you need to set up? And then I will show you the outside tools you can use to set it up for you for very cheap or basically for free, which is the easiest way. If you don't want to do it through the outside tools, you will need to do it yourself, and then you will use the instructions that your domain provider gives you, be it Namecheap or whoever. So first thing that you need to set is MX records, which is basically saying who is your email provider. So again, it's if you have Gmail as your email provider, you will set the MX records in your domain administration to Gmail. Again, you will find guides on that on the website of your domain providers. And then the 3 most important things that are connected to cold emailing or email in general is the email authentication. So there are 3 names, SPF, DMARC, and DKIM, and together they are what we call the email authentication protocols. And they are basically the way how can email receiver know that it was really you who sent the email. So they know that when they receive email from david@leadbind.com, it really came from the domain and it wasn't somehow altered or, someone didn't steal my domain or my identity. And then the third thing you want to set up is redirect your main page. So obviously you have those dummy domains, let's say. So we have getleadbind.com, tryleadbind.com, and you want to redirect them to your main website. So when people actually look at your cold email, they see the domain, they Google it, they will get somewhere and they should get to your website, right? Ideally. And as I mentioned, you can either set this up yourself or you can use outside services. And there are 3 of them that I would recommend you. The first one is F60 host, or let's start with Zepmail actually, because that's the service I use. So Zepmail, it's a service that allows you to, first of all, buy the Google accounts for cheaper, which is something I already mentioned, for $3-ish a month. That's when you have 100 email accounts, I think. If you have less, it will be around $4 a month. But also, they will do all the boring stuff for you. So as I mentioned, they will set up the MX records, they will set up the SPF, DMARC, DKIM, and they will redirect the website to your main page. Very easy setup. Basically, you just choose a pricing plan, get started now, $39 a month, then Google Mailbox included. And the pro tip, you see starter plan, it's 10 Google Mailbox included, and the growth plan is 30, but you don't actually need to buy this one if you want 15. You can actually just buy 5 additional mailboxes for this plan. So I would choose the cheapest plan if you're just starting out, if you want to have 10, 15 mailboxes set up. And then this Zepmail will set up everything for you automatically. So you will have the emails, and then the only step that you need to do is connect it to the cold email software. Similar principle is F60 host, which again, it's actually an Indian company, so I think you will need to pay everything in Indian rupees. What is the downside with this one is that and I'm pretty sure it will load, but that the smallest amount of email accounts you can buy is 30. So you can buy 10, 20. They require you to have at least 30 email addresses, and then you pay 4,200 rupees a month, which is approximately, I think, $50. Yeah. So that's that. That's basically how you can do it. And again, they will set up the emails for you. So they will set up the basically everything you need. I don't have direct experience with F60 host, so as I said, I would go with Zepmail. That's the easiest one, and you can pay with dollars. But I also heard many positive reviews. And the last tool is Inframail. I actually have it here, Inframail.io, and it is also a company that will set up the emails for you, and I think it's actually hosted it's hosted on their end. So you will not have Gmail or Outlook emails. You will have the emails hosted through Inframail. You pay $99 a month, but then you can set up unlimited emails. And from what I've heard, the deliverability is also very good. It's on the level with Gmail or Outlook. So this is the only tool really I would consider if you don't want to go with the Gmail or Outlook. $99 a month, again, as I said, but you can have as many email inboxes as you want. So this is something I would use maybe when you're scaling in the future. Again, me personally don't have direct experience with Inframail. I choose Zepmail. And so you have all the domains, you have all the emails set up. You either do it through one of these 3 services, or you did it yourself. If you did it yourself, it probably took you a bit more time, but whatever. And now you need to choose cold email tool, right? And you need to choose a tested, reliable tool, because again, deliverability is everything. You don't want your deliverability to be broken. And you should also choose tool where you don't pay per inbox. So some of the tools, Lemlist for instance, or other big tools, they make you pay per inbox, which might seem cheaper in the beginning when you're starting out, but if you want to scale, it will really skyrocket your running costs. And so the two most common, the two best tools that I would recommend is Instantly.ai or Smartlead.ai. Really, those are the two biggest players so far. I personally use Smartlead, but I know people who swear by Instantly. Both of those tools, very high quality. I think Instantly is a bit bigger at this point in time, but it really doesn't matter that much. Both of them have also similar pricing. So in the beginning, if you want to send less messages, you will pay something around $40 a month for 6,000 emails per month. But if you want to set up the 5 domains, as I mentioned, for instance, you will need more messages, 150,000 emails per month in this case, and you will pay around $100 a month. Okay, so that's that. And also, another important reason why I was mentioning that you should use some reliable tool for cold email is that actually most of these, like Zepmail, Inframail, they have integration with Instantly and Smartlead. So you don't need to set up the emails inside of Smartlead or Instantly yourself, which would take you additional, few hours maybe, but it will be set up automatically through the integration. So yeah, and then the last step, once you have all the email accounts imported, is start Warmup. Everything is automatic when it comes to Instantly and Smartlead.ai. I'm tripping over my words at this point, but everything will be automatic, and in 20 days you're ready to send out 15,000 emails a month and get somewhere between 100 and 150 meetings a month. Okay, that's everything. Have a nice day. And again, if you have any questions that you have about automations, about cold email, write them in the comments and I will do a next video about it. Bye.